सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्.
Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Srilekha Ma'am, Dr. Ramanai, Director SAMS, other directors of the group, my faculty, colleagues, staff, and dear students, a very good morning. Yeah, so Parivarthana 2011 is just going to be started, inaugurated, and I'm sure all the students who have assembled here would know exactly what we have been doing. It was just an initiative that started last year by the 8th batch of MBA and 19th batch of PGDM students. It was just a small initiative which we started, but when we looked at the encouragement that we received from all the schools, it was too good. Too good in the sense, we decided for good that we have to have it every year, continuous year after year, with the themes changed. Because there is no dearth for themes in our society. Last year, since we started, when we started, it was AIDS. Not because students didn't know about AIDS or they were not aware of AIDS. They were really aware of what AIDS was. But the interaction that the students, SEM students had with the school children made them realize that this is not a joke that we have heard of. This is not a simple disease. And when our own students realize, even, it is a learning phase for you as well. When they realize that there's a lot for us also to learn, at the same time imparting the information gathered to the school students, it was different. When we went to all these schools, in fact, we went to 37 schools and trained 7,969 students. When we went to school after school, it was an experience, a fresh experience for the students, even for the faculties, even when they accompany the students. And whenever we went to these schools, we requested the principal that the school teachers may be spared from attending this, because as you all know, school children are very scared of the teacher, and so the inhibition was more to ask questions or clarify doubts. While discussing the topic with children of that age, I listened to few boys and girls who had informed us that many people have already visited their schools on the same issue, primarily AIDS. So what have you understood from these talks? None of them said that they remembered anything that was told to them. Basically because it was delivered by doctors, whom they called as uncles, or somebody's father was making a presentation using a PPT and he had the terminologies. When we are addressing the students, it is, they are listening to their elder brothers and sisters. I have heard students ask doubts and calling chata chata, what does it mean? So they are in fact familiarizing with the group that is our students, and they are free to ask questions. The second issue that we took up was misuse of technology. Again, that was a time when all the newspapers were reporting about the various misuses that was seen through Facebook, through mobile, and so on. And that was picking up very fast, rampant in fact, because Facebook had just come up and people were getting to know more about it, and all the boys and girls were trying their pranks on the on Facebook. So we thought might as well use that also to use that as a medium to educate We told the students about Facebook, the pros and cons, the beautiful side of Facebook. Why tell them the negative side? So we told them the positive side, and boys and small children, boys and girls, started asking about the negative side. That is how we opened their curiosity. It was a big discussion. All the students had to ask so many things on how they could be tracked. See the curiosity, how they could be tracked. If I do something, if I morph, how will somebody know that I have morphed? So these were the questions which we were shocked to hear from children studying in 7th and 8th standard. And when we completed these programs in these schools, all these schools requested us to visit them every year. In fact, we had no problem in contacting them. They said, please come over because we have another set of students to listen to you. And it is this encouragement that forced us to think about a different theme this year too. Themes are again not very complex things that we have heard, things that you and I have heard of many, many times. Drug abuse, yes. Even recently we heard about so many ampules being caught by the police and so on and so on. And we have again social networking and personal hygiene to, in fact that is towards a fag end of the present of the role play. Again, drug abuse not a topic that you nor the students have not heard or listened to. I heard my son saying that in my school, since he's in 9th now, a doctor from Lakeshore had come to deliver a talk, a speech on drug abuse. Asked him, what did you understand? I don't know, he came and said something and all and went. So why didn't you listen? Well, I listened because we have a project on drug abuse. So I have written down the points and I need to translate that into Malayalam because that is a Malayalam project. Okay, finally, what have you understood? Nothing, not to use drugs. Okay. Now, this is an attitude, I mean, this could be the attitude of a school child when somebody senior to them come. That is why we find your initiative unique, where you go down to their level, talk to them, talk to the small boys and girls, and clarify, discuss, and that is one time that they value the most. Rather than so many, even the principals, I remember the principal of Rajagiri school said, we have had various speeches, but never was it so, the impact was never felt so much that we want you to come this year as well. So that is the best feedback that we can get. Now, well, the reason why I said all these about Parivarthana is because today, our chairman is not here, he's in fact traveling. So he was supposed to reach Cochin early morning, but he is unable to make it. So I thought I'll just brief everybody on what we expect to do and move over to my job of welcoming our chief guest. Yes, as you all see, we have a very known personality. Maybe of our generation, we have always looked at her with great awe, I would say, because being the first IPS officer, and especially being posted in Kerala, really means something. And to have such a person who has got so many, I was just reading Madam's biodata. She's a novelist, she has written 8 books, and always she has been dealing with similar issues on women and children and drugs and so on. We thought that she would be the right person to be our chief guest for the day. Madam, on behalf of everybody assembled here and on behalf of our SCMS family, we welcome you to this function. Yes, rest assured within the family, I have Ramanasa, my colleagues, and all of us, we are doing it anyway together. But still, a warm welcome to the inaugural function. And all the best. Thank you.
Respected faculty members, my dear students of SCMS, I am very happy and proud to be associated with the great social initiative of SCMS, Parivarthana. Thank you for the nice introduction and very nice welcome that has been given to me. This is the second time that I am visiting SEMS, and the last time I visited, the memories were very, very sweet. That is why I decided to come this time also. Because as you very well know, when you go to a place, when you talk to people, you also learn a lot. And as a teacher, I was a teacher in a college before I became an IPS officer. I was teaching English literature, and each time before I go to take class to the students, I used to be scared because how much ever I prepare, whatever I do to be prepared to give the lecture, I'll be scared because the students will be asking any sort of questions, and unless you know the answers, you are making a big fool of yourself. So I'd like to start with a story. You must have heard the story several times in your life, but still I'd like to repeat it. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Have you heard of him? Have you heard of the story? Yes. Okay, so mother approached him to advise her child. And the child was having a problem. He eats too much of sweets. He doesn't eat anything other than sweets. So he eats a lot of jaggery, he eats a lot of sugar. So she wanted Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa to advise the child so that he will stop eating sweets or reduce his intake of sweets. So Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa told the mother that you please come after 3 months. So the mother came after 3 months with the child, and then Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa advised the child and told him about the bad effects of having too much sweets and made him promise that he will not take that much sweets in his life. So before they were going, the mother asked Sri Ramakrishna, why did you not give this advice 3 months back? Why did you ask me to come now? So he said, at that time I also used to take a lot of sweets. Now I wanted time to reform myself, to transform myself. Now I don't take that much sweets. Now I am empowered to give advice to my children, the child. So that is why I asked for 3 months time. So you see, when you go and take class about whatever subject, maybe about drug abuse or social civic responsibilities or even about social networking sites, you should be knowing, you must be good at it. You must know about the rules, the laws, you must know about the evils. You must not be a victim of the negative sides of, you must not be a victim of drug abuse, or you must not be abusing drugs, or you must not be using the social networking sites or internet for bad purposes. So you have to reform yourself first. Only then you can go and advise the children about the bad effects of these things. Correct? So until and unless you are sure that you are in a position to give advice to the others, that you are in a position to tell them about these things, unless your conscience is very clear, then please don't go and take classes. So today, will you please go to your home? You don't like advices, I know that, because I also came through your age, and at this particular age, you hate people advising you. So I know that you don't like advices, and I'm not advising you also, but just give an introspection. Find out whether you are totally committed to the cause, whether you can take a class to the other children, and then you go and take class, because only then you will become a successful teacher. This is not about teaching, this is about a transformation. So the transformation should start within yourself first and then go on to the others. So last time I came here, I was talking about ethics, and I was very sure and optimistic and hopeful, because I always had kept very high standards of ethics throughout my life and career. So I was very confident talking about it. And today also, when I come and talk to you about these two things, being a police officer and having worked in this field for the past 25 years, I know what are the bad effects of drug abuses. And it's not only, a doctor will not be able to tell the children about the bad effects, because life after all, there is a debate going on even now whether attempt to commit suicide is a crime. Suicide is not a crime. If you commit suicide, nobody can punish you. But if you attempt to commit suicide, that section is there, 309 IPC, it is punishable. You get about 1 year imprisonment and fine. Why should anybody bother? It's your life, you are attempting to commit suicide. Why should anybody be bothered? But if you attempt to, if you do abuse, like you drink spurious liquor, then that is also an attempt to commit suicide, because liquor is harmful to you, and if you drink lots of spurious liquor and then you are on the deathbed, then government rewards you with money. That only happens in Kerala, nowhere else. But unfortunately, this drugs is the only thing. That is, drugs, the term drugs is only related to medicines. It can be used only for medicinal purposes, for your health, for improving your illness, for your health. So whatever drug that you use, if you are totally healthy, that is illegal. And this is the only thing that is having a total ban in India. You must be knowing that nothing else is having a total ban other than this narcotic drugs. So narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances are totally banned, 100% banned in India. In states like Gujarat, liquor is also banned. But here, liquor, you can use liquor. Liquor is the source of economy for the Kerala government. So it's encouraged also. However, drugs is, no, you can't. So this is the first thing you have to tell the children, that total ban is there, and government takes very, very strict action whenever drug abuse is noticed. The punishments are also very high, unless you can prove it before a court of law that the little bit of ganja that you are having is for your own personal use. Even then you will be punished, but the punishment will be around 3 years, otherwise imprisonment will be 7 years and above. So 7 years is the maximum punishment for even murder. If you commit murder also, 7 years is the minimum punishment, 12 years is the maximum punishment if it is a pre-planned cruel murder. So this is the punishment even for drug abuse. You will get the same punishment as that of murder or rape. So you'll be considered as a sort of murderer or a rapist if you are found carrying drugs, or maybe selling drugs or using drugs. So this is a grave, grave offense, and your entire life is spoiled. Health-wise, your social status, your everything is spoiled. You are a criminal. So the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act is a very powerful act, and we keep doing exercises on that. And recently in Kochi, you must be seeing the newspapers. If you have the habit of reading newspapers, you'll be knowing that this vials of drugs for injection, quite a lot of them are now being caught. So that means this is being circulated to a very large extent. Now ganja is out of fashion. Heroin is also out of fashion. It is only the drugs which can be injected straight into the vein. These drugs have become very popular now. Now, it is not to reform yourself or to tell it to the others also. When you go to the schools and teach the children, why don't you spread a message? That is, you can have a sort of interactive session or a gameplay or some sort of a skit can be, or some sort of a story can be prepared and questions can be asked on that. Maybe you can discuss the story. But then you will have to inform them that while they do not use drugs, they should also prevent others from using it. How can they do that? If they notice somebody in their class or somebody at home resorting to this illicit use of drugs, narcotic drugs, then they should inform the police, or they should inform the others, or even the teachers. They should not keep it a secret within themselves. So just a phone call, or just an email, or just a little bit of just an anonymous letter to the police without putting your name and address, that is also fine. But you inform that such a person is using this, and if you also, the students, if they know that in a particular shop they are selling shop near the schools, along with the pencil and erasers and pen and papers and everything, they are selling this small packets of drugs also. If you come to know that, then don't keep it. The children should not keep it quiet. They should not hide it. They should tell others. So only by responding at the proper time will this crime be prevented. So please carry forward this message and tell them to keep informing the police and keep informing others about the sources where it is available. So you can also tell them about the psychological and physical and health-wise the damage that the drugs cause to these children. And this once, if you have it even accidentally once, then it has got a addictive effect. That is the bad thing about drugs. You may not be knowing that you are using it, But once you start having an addiction for something, then they should assume that whatever you're addicted for is not correct and it is having some sort of a bad drugs. Suppose the children, they go for a sip-up or some ice cream or lollipop or a sweet, and then they go again and ask for that particular sweet or that particular lollipop or that particular sip-up, then they keep continuing repeating that day after day. Then that means they are addicted to that, and that particular substance is having some sort of a drug, and then they should inform immediately their parents. So these are the things that you should tell the children, that even unknowingly they can be addicted to something. Even unknowingly somebody can offer them an ice cream laced with some sort of a narcotic substance. They can become addicted to that later on. And then it becomes expensive, because that particular chocolate which is available at 10 rupees one day, suddenly after a week it will be 100 rupees for a particular piece. So that is the technique that drug sellers usually use. Once you get the children addicted to that, then increase the price so that the children will be buying it at whatever cost. So that you should tell them they should be careful about that. Now coming to the second subject, I am a little wary about the terminology that you have used, that is the positive uses of social networking sites. That is, you are giving a sort of encouragement to the students to use social networking sites, to get enrolled in Facebook or Orkut, isn't it? Positive uses of social networking sites. I request you to please change it and make it into something else, like the damages or the dangers lurking behind social networking sites, or something like that, because you should not encourage students to go into social networking sites. No, you shouldn't. Those students who want to go, those students who have a lot of free time, those who can afford the expenses and the time, because social networking sites are expensive also. Don't go to the government schools and tell the children to get enrolled in social networking sites. Their parents will not be able to bear the expenses. The children will not be able to bear the time that they use towards the social networking sites. Don't do that. Let them study. Let them open their books and read at that time. Let them study the study materials at that time. Let them do the homework at that time. So don't encourage students, please, to get into the social networking sites. Just tell them that some dangers are there in some social networking sites which children are using more and more without knowledge of their parents, without knowledge of their teachers. If children are using social networking sites with the knowledge of the parents or the teachers, then it's fine, good enough. But those children who are using it, first of all, this is a message you should tell them, that if you are 18 years and below, then get the consent of your parents to enroll yourself in social networking sites. This is the first thing you should tell. The parent should know, or the teacher should know. If you are using it from the school computer, teacher should know. If you are using it from home computers, then parents should know. So this is the first message. Second thing is that the dangers. Dangers of social networking sites are many. You must be knowing that people fall in love through Orkut. I don't understand how. A girl falls in love with a boy or Orkut, and then they even marry over the net. Sometimes they have virtual marital lives. They have virtual lives, on the Orkut or on the net they have children. Without even seeing each other, they have kids. They name the kids. You don't know, you're laughing. It happens. It has happened. And suddenly, when the girl, real-time marriage is there, then the virtual husband comes and says that I already have fathered her kids. When you inquire, you know that they have not even met. Actually, they have not even met. Maybe a picture was there on the social networking site, which is not exactly her picture. It must be some film star's picture. So, there's another thing that a boy had fallen in love with a long time back. I have investigated into that thing. A boy fell in love with a girl, and the girl has been giving picture of a beautiful North Indian actress through the net. The poor boy is in Gulf country, so he thought that this girl is very pretty. The picture is there, the pictures of this girl are very pretty. So the girl swindled some money also out of this boy, saying that she would like to come abroad and meet him, so please send me the ticket charges, etc. So he gave the ticket charges online, and then she disappeared. Then after that, he gave a complaint and he found out, and the girl happened to be a very plain Jane girl, and the picture she had given was fake, and we had to take a lot of effort to convince the boy that this is not the real girl. So usually these things are the dangers. That is, jokes apart, I am going to tell you a very serious thing. Recently a girl committed suicide. She poured kerosene over herself, put fire to her in the bathroom. She was an engineering student, a very pretty girl, and the parents, recently means about 3 months back, and the parents still keep crying, they still come to me and keep crying saying that a particular boy who made her commit suicide should be arrested. Okay, their grief is genuine, their request is also genuine, their need is genuine, that whoever that is responsible for trapping this girl should be arrested. Now how, she is studying in an engineering college somewhere in Kottayam. The boy is studying in some other college somewhere in Trivandrum. How did they meet? The boy is about 3 years younger than her. So how did they meet? They met on the Orkut. Over the Orkut they met and they developed a friendship, and then the girl insisted that they see each other. And one particular day they met. They went to Calicut, a neutral place. She took a bus there, he took a train there, and they met, and the whole night they spent in the railway station and in the bus stop. Nothing happened between them, no physical relationship, nothing. They just met. The boy kept on saying that, I'm too young, I can't marry, I can't marry. The girl said that, no, I can't marry anybody else, I'm in love with you, you have to marry me. The boy is young and the girl is elder, so she exerted some influence over him, and ultimately he agreed. They went around, they had some food, he brought some trinkets to her, like some 100 rupee chain, some 15 rupees, so some small trinkets, and came home. And the next day she also, again she kept on the demand of meeting him again and again, which he refused. So once when she requested him to go somewhere and she went and waited, he did not turn up. So aggrieved by that, this girl came home and poured kerosene over her body and lit herself. This was a warning she gave also over the internet several times. Over the Orkut he said that if you don't marry me, I'll kill myself. So if you don't marry myself, and the police wanted it to be taken as the parents of the child wanted it to be taken as evidence to arrest the boy. So ultimately I don't have the mind or the heart to arrest the boy, because the boy, after knowing about the girl's death, he turned mental and he's admitted in a psychiatric hospital for mental treatment. It was a shock to him. Anybody here who knows about this? Because I hear a lot of commotion. Maybe you know. Huh?
Common issues.
Common issues. Maybe one of you is involved in such issues. I hear a lot of commotion when I talk about this particular incident. Did a boy faint somewhere? Don't be afraid, because although I am in uniform, I am not on duty here. Relax. Okay. I am not on duty, I am not going to arrest anybody. So, fine. These are the bad things about social networking sites. So those boys and girls who have a relationship over the social networking site, please don't take class to the kids about useful effects or the positive sides or the negative sides about the social networking sites. Don't do that. Today or tomorrow, if you can get out of that trauma, out of that trap, you stop using Facebook. You get out of you get out of that. You can do that. Facebook. You can unsubscribe. So you unsubscribe, erase your details. Then you decide that you will not do it unless you reach a particular age, unless you marry, or maybe unless at the age of 30 or 40 you want to find out your old friends. Maybe then you can start again. But not when you are very young, not when you are unmarried, not when you have other things more important things to do than waste your time over the social networking sites. And Orkut, it's okay to chat. I mean, even Skype and all that. It's okay to chat. It's okay to do that with your friends and your relatives on the net. But with strangers, better not do it, or you will end up with a lot of heartaches, with a lot of pain, broken hearts and everything. So those people who had experience of that and got out of it, those people who have recovered from the trauma, maybe they can go and take classes. They should go and take classes and teach the students, youngsters, that these are the dangers lurking behind social networking sites. So many issues are there. So many things are there that you can do. That is, when you take up responsibilities like this, your students, your primary responsibility is to learn, to study, and to come out with flying colors. This is not your primary responsibility, but you take it upon yourself as a social responsibility because it adds to your personality. When you do something outside your agenda, when you think outside the box, then that makes you a better person, a bigger hearted person. So this Parivarthana, this program that you do, the transformation that you do for yourself and for others is a great social responsibility. And you should view it as very seriously as a great thing. It's not a minor thing, it's not just not an entertainment. It's not like you taking part in a youth festival or singing or speaking or doing some drama. It's not like that. This is something which is having a lot of social responsibility. It reforms yourself and it reforms others also. If you can make at least 10 students understand about the evils and reform themselves, then you have done a great, great, great thing. Your entire life purpose is served. So this should be your attitude. You should take these classes very seriously, go forward, be serious about it, be committed about it, and come out with flying colors. Let this program go on for years. The second year only, so you'll have to keep on doing it. The students who keep on coming also, they will have to keep on doing it. SEMS has paved a way towards the social responsibility. All the very best to you, all the very best to SEMS. Thank you.
ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ SRP സ്കൂളിൻ്റെ ഈ കോൺഫറൻസ് ഹാളിനെ ധന്യമാക്കുന്നതിനായി ഇവിടെ ആഗതനായിരിക്കുന്ന നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സുപരിചിതനായിരിക്കുന്ന നമ്മുടെ സാനു മാഷ്, പ്രിയങ്കരനായി സാനു മാഷ്, അതുപോലെ SEMS കോളേജിൻ്റെ ഡയറക്ടറായിരിക്കുന്ന രാധ മാഡം, അതുപോലെ SEMSൽ നിന്നും ആഗതരായിരിക്കുന്ന പ്രൊഫഷണൽസ്, മറ്റുള്ള സ്റ്റാഫ്, അതുപോലെ അവിടുത്തെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ, പിന്നെ SRVയുടെ അഭിമാന ഭാജനങ്ങളായ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ, the most useful of all arts, that of training children to lead a happy life, still neglected എന്നുള്ള റൂസോയുടെ വാക്കുകൾ ഇതാ വീണ്ടും തിരുത്തിക്കുറിക്കുവാനായി, അതായത് അതിന് വേണ്ട ട്രെയിനിങ് കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. 200 years ബാക്കിൽ തിങ്കറും എഡ്യൂക്കേഷനിസ്റ്റും ഫിലോസഫറുമായിരുന്ന റൂസോ പറഞ്ഞതാണത്. എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഫോർ എ ഹാപ്പി ലൈഫ്. അതിനുള്ള മാർഗങ്ങൾ നിർദ്ദേശിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത് എന്നും അവഗണിക്കപ്പെട്ടിരുന്ന സ്ഥാനത്ത് ഇന്നത് പരിഗണനയിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവന്നിരിക്കുന്നു. കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ മനസ്സിലാക്കി, കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളുടെ ഇടയിൽ അവരുടെ പോരായ്മകൾ, അവരുടെ മുഖത്ത് സന്തോഷം നേടിക്കുവാൻ, അവർ ഹാപ്പിയായി മനം തുറന്ന് സംസാരിക്കുവാൻ, മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുവാൻ, വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം അവർക്ക് അതുപോലെ പ്രയോജനപ്പെടുവാൻ തക്ക രീതിയിൽ അതിനെ വേണ്ടതുപോലെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പകർന്നു തരുവാൻ SEMS കോളേജിന്റെ ഭരണസാരഥികളും അവിടുത്തെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളും നിങ്ങൾക്കായി തുനിഞ്ഞിറങ്ങി ഇതാ ഇവിടെ ആഗതരായിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അതിന്റെ ഉദ്ഘാടന കർമ്മം നടത്തുന്നതിനായി നമ്മുടെ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട സാനു മാഷ്, ഞാൻ